Good evening, I'm Jeremy Skiba, and thank you for joining us tonight. Tomorrow morning is the new deadline for the correctional workers that are still on strike to return to work. The state and NYSCOPA reached an agreement yesterday to get officers back to work and to address the concerns regarding employee safety and quality of working life inside the state's prisons. News Channel 9's Kendra Brodus breaks down some of the conditions.
Striking correction officers have said again and again, it's not about the money. They want to see real change in their working conditions inside the state's prisons. A big bone of contention, the HALT Act, which limits the use of solitary confinement. According to the agreement, the programming elements of the HALT Act will still be suspended for 90 days. 30 days after the agreement goes into effect, the commissioner will evaluate the act to determine the risk to officers. There's also a plan to create a HALT committee, which would be made up of NYSCOPA and DOCCS representatives. Other state unions would also have the opportunity to join. The committee would be focused on addressing the safety of officers and incarcerated individuals. Another hot topic, overtime. The agreement says they're working towards eliminating anyone working 24-hour mandatory overtime. But until then, they agreed that any CO or sergeant that volunteers to work overtime on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday will receive a pay differential of $100 per shift for the day. So if officers return, what happens to the National Guard members that are filling in? While the National Guard remains at the discretion of the governor, under this agreement, members would remain in the prisons as a support system as staff return to work. They would also be in place to help prevent an employee from having to work mandatory 24-hour overtime. This agreement will only go into effect if 85% of the pre-strike fill level of employees return to work by 6:45 Monday morning. Kendra Brodus, News Channel 9.
If the officers return tomorrow morning, they will not be disciplined, and any officer whose health insurance was terminated will be reinstated immediately.